Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and today's reading is a love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. I have laid out a spread. Let's go straight to the bottom of the deck, and we have got Two of Pentacles. This is a card of weighing up your options. It's also a card of 2 years, so it's possible that you could have been weighing up your options for 2 years. There is an infinity sign. It is possible here that there is some sort of loop you feel like you cannot get out of, or a loop that you've been in for 2 years, perhaps. Let's see what else is underneath that. Okay, well now, so this is quite interesting because it's a love reading. We have a very small love offer. The Page of Cups is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Child, or a love letter or an apology. So perhaps you've been pondering what to do for a couple of years. Maybe there is a love letter or an apology that you are waiting for. Or perhaps you're waiting for somebody to tell you how they feel. Or maybe you've been working out how you feel over the last couple of years, possibly for some of you. Yeah, interesting. Let's have another one. Card of Resistance. Perhaps you've been resisting your emotions a bit, maybe. Perhaps you've cut yourself off from your emotions a little bit. I suppose that could be a thing. Or somebody has been wanting to offer you a cup of love and you've been resisting it. That's also a possibility. Seven of Wands is a card of resistance. It's sort of putting a roadblock in the way. It's sort of interrupting flow, if you like. And yeah, because the Page of Cups is very much going with the flow, and this is very much stopping the flow. I think it's either emotions or love. So you've either actively been stopping the flow of love coming to you, or you've been actively stopping yourself from having any emotion, or addressing your emotions maybe. And potentially that's been a situation for the last couple of years. I mean, maybe you've come out of something serious and you're not looking for anything that's too serious. I suppose that could be a way of looking at it. Because in the past it looks like you've had a relationship, a love connection, even a family. Anyway, that's the past. Let's go to the centre. So we have the card, the Seven of Swords. This is the card of, it can be a card of sneaky behaviour and cheating, really. But not always. And quite often I read it as a 5 and a 2. And a 5 is a battle and a 2 is a choice. So potentially you've put yourself in a situation where things are feeling difficult to do with love, I think. I'm sort of getting a picture coming to mind. I wonder if you were in a relationship and you put the brakes on that for some reason. Perhaps the person wasn't quite good enough or quite right for you. And so you've come out of a relationship, and now I don't think choosing to come out of it was hard, but it's left you in a situation where you're either having to resort to secret liaisons or there isn't much going on for you, I think. What's crossing that is the Nine of Cups. This is a card of wishes coming true. So this is slightly strange in a way. I think you had a relationship. I'm going straight to the past here. This is not the way I normally read the cards, but I have to talk about it. I think you had a relationship in your past. You may have even had a family with somebody in your past. And for whatever reason, you've let that go. And that was what you wanted. You wanted to let that go. So that wish has come true. But it's left you in a state of really not knowing quite what to do instead. And also, in a way, I'm just going to grab the Page of Cups. Also not really being sure about how you feel as well. So I think in the past you definitely wanted to come out of a relationship, and you did, and that's what you wanted, but it's left you. Instead of leaving you with what you wanted, it's left you feeling like things feel difficult now and you're not quite sure how to proceed. It's sort of how it feels. On the face of things, we have the Nine of Wands. This is the Wounded Warrior. So just to confirm the fact that you are struggling a little bit at the moment and that things feel difficult, and they've been feeling difficult for a while. I don't say they've been feeling difficult for 2 years, but I think the relationship that you were in must have ended 2 years ago, or coming up for 2 years ago, perhaps. And perhaps you've been resistant to letting anybody else in that time. Or maybe what's on offer hasn't been good enough, and so you've resisted what's on offer. And now you're feeling a bit ground down and worn out about the whole thing and feeling a little bit like you're not quite sure how to proceed. That's a shame, isn't it? Let's get a clarifier for the Nine of Wands. Well, great news. That's ending. So this is the Ace of Wands. If we add it to the 9, we get a 10, and a 10 is an ending. And actually, at the outcome, we have an ending as well. So the feeling like you're fed up and you're not quite sure what to do and how to move things forward, that's coming to the end. And the reason it's coming to an end is that you are now being gifted a brand new opportunity. And there is some sort of electronic communication coming in. Now, it could be that you're chatting to people on websites or dating sites or something like that, because the Page of Swords, it is a child. It can be an air sign child, so Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but it's also the card of electronic communication. So for the next 4 to 6 weeks, you are being gifted some dynamic energy, and there is going to be some electronic communication coming in. Now, the energy on offer is going to remove you from this wounded feeling, I suppose. In a way, it feels like you've hurt yourself. That's what it feels like. And the energy on offer this month is changing that, and it's going to bring you full circle. So if you have been struggling since you came out of a relationship in the past, then that is going to feel a lot easier in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And potentially somebody is going to be getting in touch with you. Interesting. In the hidden position, or what is not clear to you and other people, we have the World. You're at the start of a new phase. But it's exactly what I was just saying. You are not impressed with what is on offer, and so you've been choosing to work on your health, your wealth, or your worth. And that's directly linked to the fact that you can't seem to get what you want. I think that in the past, you had something that was fine. It probably started off great, but you lost energy for it somehow. You sort of lost interest in a way. You lost interest in the good thing that you had in the past. And so you put yourself in a situation where you don't have that thing anymore. But now you find yourself almost in a worse position where you can't find anything better either. And so you've been working on your own self, which is a good thing to do. The great news is that this phase is ending. You don't know it yet. This is hidden and unconscious, but you're coming to the end of that. The World is a brand new start, but it's also a neat and tidy ending. So if you have been struggling particularly over the last couple of years, to work out who it is you want and how to live the life you want, that's coming to an end. If you have been resistant to all sorts of offers that have been coming to you that have not seemed good enough, that is also coming to an end. So this is great news. The World can also talk about travel and potentially even meeting somebody from another part of the world. So in the past position, I'm going to pick these 3 cards up. We've got the past, the present, and the future here. Now, the progression here does not look great. You've gone from something that was lovely. You had a lovely relationship in the past. You have moved into a situation where you're not quite sure what you should be doing and everything feels quite difficult. And the other thing that feels extra difficult about this is that you chose to leave this in the past. That was a conscious choice. What's in the future? This is the card of lack. This is not having what you want, or possibly not having anything. But we'll take a clarifier here. It can also be a card of 5 years. Why do we have the 5 of Pentacles in the future position? It's really a card of not having anything of worth. Having nothing of value is what it feels like. You can't seem to get what you want. What's been on offer you're not interested in, and you can't seem to find anything which has any worth to it. Well, we've just taken a clarifier there, and now we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is the card of gaining enlightenment. He's hanging upside down for a different perspective and to get a different view on the world, if you like. So not being able to find what you want in the future, you're being encouraged here to look at things in a slightly different way. I actually think this is a matter of perspective. I think you have been quite resistant to anybody in the past who possibly seems a bit immature or not grown up enough in some way. You've been resistant to that. I think that there is going to be some communication coming in from some sort of an electronic source that is going to propel you out of that. But in the future, we have you with nothing. So I think your perspective here is going to take a little while to shift. I think things will be improving in the future significantly, but you're going to have to start looking at things a different way round. Somewhere, somehow, your perspective has got knocked. I think possibly what's happened is because you decided you did not want to be in this connection that you were in the past, I think perhaps you just naturally thought you would find somebody else, and that has not happened. It still feels like you don't have somebody in the future here. But there are a load more cards to look at yet, so don't be despondent and don't turn off, because that's not the end of the reading. Your perspective needs a little bit of attention here. And that is what the Hanged Man is saying. It isn't literally that there's no one. It's that you just don't think there's anyone for you. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's not that there's literally no one. It's that you can't see anyone who's right for you. And, you know, that's a valid point. But these cards here are a lot better. In a personal way, you've got everything you want. This is the grown-up card of Happy Ever After. This is a home, a family, money, whatever you want in life. This is, you're providing it for yourself. In a personal way, things are feeling better financially for you, I believe. I think perhaps if you did leave a partnership in the past, things might have been difficult financially, but they're not. In a personal way, things have picked up for you financially now. So this is really nice. In the home position, we have the Queen of Cups. This is interesting because at the start, I was talking about you possibly not being able to understand or recognise your emotions. In the home position, you are showing up here as the Queen of Emotions, if you like. And I think perhaps that is what is needed, really. I think you have lost perspective. And I think you are out of tune with your own emotions, or you have been. And I think that is coming back this month. If you are a parent, this is very much a loving energy, or it could even be your own mother, actually. So you're coming back into the family fold. It feels a little bit like you're being cosseted at home with a lot of maternal love, potentially. Or if you are a parent, maybe you're coming into a particularly good period of time with your own children. I mean, the Queen of Cups is the most loving energy in the deck. Let's take a clarifier. Why do we have the Queen of Cups in the home position? If you're a masculine watching this, it could be that you have the woman you want and love at home. Right, well, this is very interesting. 2 cards have come out here. Now, in general, I read cards upright. I tend not to read reversals, but Temperance has come out upside down. So we're going to read it upside down. So I was just talking about there being a loving energy at home. So if you're a masculine watching, I think you found your woman is what it feels like. Or potentially that is what is going to happen this month. Or, like I was saying, this is some sort of mother love. You are now manifesting, whether you're masculine or feminine, you are now able to manifest what it is for you to live your life the way you want. So if you're a feminine, you are now able to manifest what you want and address your feelings properly. And I think perhaps you have not been addressing your feelings properly for quite a long time. If you are a masculine, I think you are potentially manifesting the woman that you want or the feminine that you want this month. Yeah, brilliant. Now, just to put a cat amongst the pigeons slightly, we have Temperance upside down. Temperance is an angel. It is the card of flow. Do you remember at the start I was saying that you do not want to resist the flow that is on offer? There was a problem with somebody was coming to offer some love and you could be resistant to it. Well, so here it looks like the flow is still being interrupted. I can't be more specific than this, but it feels like something has shifted you into potentially a bit of a negative mindset. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know what's done the shifting, But it's really important that you try and claw your perspective back this month, because this doesn't need to be a reality. In fact, it's not a reality, and yet it's here in your future. So it could indicate that you're going to struggle to see things the right way round for a while. But in any case, Temperance is a guided message. This is an angel. So I think you might be resisting the guidance that you need. This is in the home position. So maybe you're not listening to the guidance that's being provided at home. I mean, if you are moving back home to live with a parent, perhaps there is some guidance there that you are resisting listening to, maybe. But in any case, this is Magician, which is a brilliant card of manifestation. So try and resist being in a negative energy, because you are going to be able to get what you want moving slightly further forward, I think. I feel like you're sort of in a stuck energy at the moment, and you are stuck in a place where things are feeling difficult, and you're becoming a little bit negative, possibly about the business of finding the person you want. That is changing. This is a temporary feeling, and it is going to go. So please don't lose heart on that one. That is going to change. But the balance and flow of emotions and previously finances, the finances have been sorted out, but the emotional stuff is still not quite sorted, I don't think. In the hopes and fears position, we have the Emperor. This is the most powerful masculine in the deck. So the Emperor is in charge of everything. This can talk about ego. It could also be an Aries masculine. So maybe if you've been connected with an Aries masculine in the past, or you've got your eye on one, potentially that's what you're hoping for. Or maybe you're fearing being connected with somebody who has too big an ego. Not quite sure. Let's get a clarifier for the Emperor. Why do we have the Emperor in the hopes and fears position? Right, we've got an 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is the card of retreating. Maybe you're going to have to retreat a little bit from your ego. Perhaps you need to step down a little bit and address the fact that maybe you're being too resistant. Perhaps your ego is telling you that nobody is quite good enough. If that's the case, you need to leave that feeling behind. Yeah, actually, the business of being too ego-driven is not going to be good for you at the moment. Because really, it's flow again. There's been an interruption to the flow. Why do I keep saying that? Right, I'm just going to ask a general question. What has interrupted flow? What is this business about flow being interrupted? Page of Pentacles, it's another child card. The pages are always messages, but they are also children. We've already got the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, and now we have the Page of Pentacles. So if you're a Sagittarius and you've got a lot of children to deal with, I suppose that would make sense. But otherwise, what are all these pages about? Well, generally the pages come with some sort of message. This is an electronic message, something coming in via the internet, I suppose, in one way or another. This could be a love letter. The Page of Pentacles is a small offer or a gift. I think it's what I said before. I think you're resistant to whatever is on offer. And I think that has got something to do with your ego. You have got to look at these two things here for what they really are. This is a child and this is the Emperor. These are very, very different energies from one another. This is a very small offer. This is a very powerful masculine. And this is a child, really, in essence, offering you something, as opposed to a very ego-driven masculine. So these are really opposing energies here. And I think you're being guided to be mindful of your ego this month. And make sure that you're not just dismissing things out of hand that actually might have some benefit and some validity. It looks to me like you are dismissing things as not being good enough for you. Somebody's got something to offer you that actually could turn out quite beautiful, I believe. So just be a little bit careful as to what you're turning down. And the outcome, we have the King of Cups and the Ten of Wands. This is a card of emotion. The King of Cups is classically the king who doesn't know how he feels. This is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, masculine. If I'm reading it as part of energy situation, this is really being all at sea. That's ending. So I think this month you're tying up some loose ends is what it feels like to me. Your period of unhappiness is ending, okay? Because we've got the 10 of Wands twice. We've also got the World card, which is a brand new start. It's hidden at the moment. It doesn't feel like you're getting a new start, and yet you are. And it's brand new and sparkly, and it's going to give you, well, anything and everything that you want. Because don't forget, we've got the Magician here, the card of manifesting a brand new life. I mean, you could, in fact, actually be manifesting yourself a life in a completely different part of the world, in actual fact. So this isn't a negative reading by any stretch, but the King of Cups doesn't really know how he feels. And I've been talking about energy and flow and perspective in this reading. And I think that is what you're going to be getting back. I think your perspective on your life is going to sharpen up and become a lot clearer for you this month. If you have not known how you felt about a situation, that is changing. If you have felt ungrounded and like life is moving away from you too fast, or you can't keep up, that is changing. If you've been feeling like you don't have what you want and you don't know the way forward, that is also changing. So you've got a lot of change coming in. But again, don't forget, we have the card here, the Hanged Man. This is gaining your perspective back this month. Actually, what's quite interesting, I've put this card down in the wrong place. I have now put the 5 of Pentacles at the outcome with the 10 of Wands. The feeling, so this is good. The feeling like you can't find what you're looking for, or you can't find your person, or you don't know your place, that feeling is ending this month. So that's really good. Let me put them back the right way though. And I want to take another clarifier. Right, let's just see. What else do we need to know for Sagittarius? Oh, great. Yeah, a huge improvement in your intuition and your personal insight. That's really what I was hoping to come out here. The High Priestess is all about knowing yourself and knowing what is good for you. I think you're coming out of a period of feeling like you haven't been able to see or feel what is good for you. Your clarity is coming into sharp focus this month, which is brilliant. And this is the Moon, and really it's just saying the same thing. The Moon is often a bit of a hidden or a veiled energy, but it can lift quite quickly. And I think as you become clearer in your own mind as to how you feel, I think this is the key this month, is to working out how you feel. I mean, there is actually potential to find a partner this month because the King and Queen of Cups are a married pair. There is potential. You could find your person. I know you're not water sign, but this is a married pairing. And I think potentially, oh, I've just thought of something else as well. Actually, yeah, I've just remembered that Temperance is also the Sagittarius card. And so because Temperance came out upside down, you are not quite in your right energy. And that is what the Moon is saying here. It's a short period of time. It's only going to be another month. I think I said this is for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Well, we're gaining clarity within 4 weeks because the Moon is a 4-week cycle. So if you felt like everything has been covered up and you can't see the truth and you don't know how to feel and you don't know a good person from a bad person and you can't tell because your emotions are all out of whack and you've lost perspective and nobody seems good enough and you've been on your own and you don't like it. And if you've had any of those feelings, then your clarity is returning in the next 4 weeks, I think. And potentially there is a partner here for you, possibly. And if there isn't a partner in the next 4 weeks, then you yourself will at least know how you feel. And you'll be able to start moving things forward and then actually bring in what you want and who you want for the future. Well, I hope so, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you and your situation in the future. And if you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until the next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.